Do you want to know which Woobles Learn-to-Crochet kit is the best for beginner crocheters? Stay tuned as I stack rank 7 of the Woobles beginner kits that I myself have made as a beginner crocheter. I'm May, and this is May's Crochets. I'm just starting to learn how to crochet, and in order to do so, I've been working my way through a few of the Woobles Learn to Crochet kits, and I want to share my thoughts with you. I do actually have full review videos for each of the 7 Woobles that I've made so far, if you want to check those out. But today I want to stack rank the 7 ones that I've made and share my thoughts with you if you're looking to see which kit I would recommend most for beginners. I will say up front, I think any of the kits are probably great to start with as a beginner. The Woobles are very well done. I've had a really good experience with them so far. Every kit comes with everything you need to make the project, which is awesome. And the videos are invaluable. They're very well done, and everything is broken down into really tiny bite-sized pieces, so you can rewatch, watch in slow motion, skip around as needed. I learn really well with videos, and that I really appreciate. I've really been able to pick up a lot of skills already just by doing some of the Wooble skits. So with that, let's get into some stack ranking because I have some thoughts. So we're gonna start with number 7, the kit that I least recommend, I suppose, for beginners, and work our way up to number 1 that I most recommend. So coming in at number 7, we have Felix the Fox. Here he is. And let me turn him this way so you can see everything, including his tail. Okay, so Felix the Fox, he's cute, but he has a lot going on. And so I think you can see right off the bat, there's like a bunch of colors. We've got 3 colors, orange, white, and black. And there's a lot of different pieces, including a tail with color changes, 2 ears with color changes. Some of this, they call this ear fuzz that's embroidered on. His nose also has an embroidered part at the end, the black tip. So, and the white stomach. He's very cute, and they do walk you through everything, but there really is a lot going on here, including the color changes, which are tricky, and getting these pieces sewn on in exactly the right spot was definitely very tricky. So this one I'm gonna put at number 7. Not recommended, in my opinion, for absolute beginners. Okay, then coming in at number 6, here comes Fred the Dino. My dino is pink. I think their main dino is actually green with white accents, but the one that I got happens to be pink, but it's the same pattern. So similarly, I suppose, to Felix the Fox, there is a decent amount going on here. We have multiple colors, although we don't actually have any color changes directly in here. Um, but we do have all of these individual spikes that are supposed to look the same, and getting them to look the same and to be sewn on in the right spot was definitely a challenge. The shape of the dino was a little bit of a challenge because it's not like fully symmetrical. Um, I think it was still very doable, for a beginner. But I think in the end, I also just like don't love how it came out. So again, this one's lower down on my rankings. Fred the Dino. Okay. Coming in at number 5, we have Emilio the Turtle. So this one is interesting. It actually really wasn't too bad. I think the tricky parts all for Emilio the Turtle have to do with this bottom here. This bottom section with the color change, and then putting these legs and then the tail. There were some new, harder, I guess, stitches than some of the basic stitches that the other kits have and that you used for the head and the shell. And just getting that all kind of together was a little bit of a challenge. He came out pretty cute. I wonder why his head is as big as it is compared to his shell size. And that is like bugging me a little bit. But other than that, I mean, he came out pretty cute. And actually it didn't take too long because it's really this piece you didn't have to like sew on extra pieces, but you still were able to add these extra little pieces, so not too bad. So we're getting more to the middle, number 5, Amelia the Turtle. Okay, number 4, we've got Buzz Buzz, Cornelius the Bee. Here he is. Okay, so Cornelius the Bee, I guess the main thing with him is these color changes here to switch from yellow, black, yellow, black. But that's honestly not all that hard, and also kind of comes out looking cool. Although although you do see sort of, you can notice in the back these little color jumps. These white wings were really cute, and not too hard to make, and his little embroidery mouth. Buzz, buzz. Um, the antennas, it's a little bit wonky because there's supposed to be a knot at the end that got undone. Um, but honestly, yeah, this one was not all that hard, but it still has some sort of unique features, which I think is really cool. So number four, we're getting right to the middle of my recommendations. So this is a decent one, we'll say, for an absolute beginner. Okay, that was number four. Let's go to number three is Henri the Frog. So Henri, he came out okay. I think I maybe also don't love the way he came out. But for a beginner, this one is pretty straightforward overall. The main sort of wooble body, like all the others, and then doing this white like stomach part really isn't too bad, and it was good practice to make these little eyes sections and sew them on correctly. This was actually the second kit that I ever made, and I think I didn't quite get the mouth right, and I'm not sure that I got the eyes exactly symmetrical. So a good kit for beginners for sure. It's a lot of just sort of more basic parts of it, basic stitches, basic pieces to sew on. But maybe because I don't love the way he came out, I'm going with number three for Henri. Okay. Coming in at number two, we've got Bjørn the Narwhal. Okay, Bjørn, I think I have to say he's my favorite of all the kits that I've made so far. And the reason I'm putting him at number two, there's definitely some complexity here. You can see there's a color change. We've got blue to white. You can see that there's some tricky parts with the fins and the tail. This tail was actually extra tricky. You have to like have two pieces that you then crochet together and then sew it on. And we've got his horn. So there definitely was complexity. But for whatever reason, I felt like it came out well, and the complexity felt like really satisfying to me. Like it was a hard, challenge, I guess, to learn to do the color change and to like crochet the tail. But I feel like they came out like decently well, and that's really, really satisfying. And so if you're looking for a kit to start off with that's maybe a little bit of a challenge, if you're kind of not looking for the absolute easiest kit of all, but you want one that really like is fairly easy but has some complicated parts, I would definitely recommend Bjørn the Narwhal, coming in at number two. So without further ado, number one, my highest recommendation for Woobles Learn-to-Crochet for absolute beginners is Kiki the Chick. So actually, Kiki the Chick was the first Wooble that I ever made, my very first Amigurumi plushie. And here he is. I think he came out great for my first project. This is the first time that I did like single crochet stitches, all of these sort of basic things. You can see it's a pretty basic. We've got a Wooble body. We've got a couple little arms or wings, I guess, that we make and then sew on. And then this little nose to sew on, and then the eyes. But I think this one was the most straightforward, but also came out cute. So the combination of those two things makes me most likely to recommend this one, Kiki the Chick, to absolute beginners if you're looking for a kit to start with. So yeah, that's my stack ranking, 7-1 of Woobles kits that I myself have done. Thank you so much for keeping me company, and I'll see you next time. Bye.